Hello, and welcome to the Simply Business Interview Podcast, a podcast created by business owners for business owners. I am your host, John Jennings. And I believe that most business owners are working way too hard for much too little. And one of our issues is that we overcomplexify things. I believe the answers are almost always within us or within our reach. I like to say that I'm a simple man with simple ideas. So welcome to Simply Business. All right, today we are joined by Vas Abramov, who is the president of Occam Design, a medical device company here in Louisville, Kentucky. And so really excited to hear more about their story and how this came about. Vas, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do there at Occam Design?
Well, thank you, John. So basically, I'm Vas Abramov, as you mentioned, and I am president and CEO of Occam Design. And more or less CEOing every day.
All right.
But as a whole,
CEOing. I haven't heard that as a verb before.
It's a new term. No, but as a whole, Occam Design specializes in development and manufacturing of medical devices. We take design of medical devices anywhere from the napkin sketch all the way into production through regulatory design and anything else that needs to happen. We specialize in electromechanical devices and software controls, UI, UX. So, yeah.
Very, very cool. So you said you told me you spent your whole life or professional life in really this industry, but how did you come about starting this company 15 years ago? You kind of started a little different, made a pivot. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it was actually interesting. David, the owner of the company, he contacted me about 20 years ago and asked if I would be interested in helping him in development of peptide synthesizer. I think now peptides are more common. Back in the day, nobody knew what it is. So it was very interesting.
And probably most people still don't know what they are, but that's okay.
Well, I think they are more and more common now. So yes, we developed a peptide synthesizer, which is Occam Design recently obtained IP for the equipment. If before it was sold by ACT, now we represent our own equipment, and it's still innovative after all these years. And it was even used for development of cancer vaccine back in the day.
Wow. Okay.
But yeah, after a while, we kind of thought that we're really as good as we are at developing peptide synthesizer at heart, we're medical device developers. And that's how we started Occam Design about 15 years ago. And for a long time, we were running it in parallel with other businesses. But about 6 or 7 years ago, we really decided to go after it and put it as a standalone business.
Yeah. So what was the impetus behind the shifting from peptides over to medical devices?
I guess that's where my passion is.
Okay.
I just like idea of, I'm not a doctor. I never could have been a doctor because there is just too much blood and stuff. But
I'm right there with you.
Right.
It's funny.
But I figured, you know what, at least I can do medical devices, which was very interesting because even though I decided that I can do medical devices because there is less blood, there is still requirement of a medical device engineer to see how, predicate device operates or their devices operate in a surgical room or what have you. And yeah, I did have to see myself in the surgical suites and the cadaver labs. I still remember first time I did it, I passed out and I had to leave. Well, I almost passed out. I turned completely white. I had to be taken outside, and I was sitting in the hallway, and the nurse was passing by, and she's like, "Are you lost? What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "Oh no, I'm just an engineer. I'm here to observe the procedure." And she's like, "Oh, okay."
Wow. Well, that's I appreciate the honesty there. A lot of people would go, "Oh, yeah, I'm too tough for this," but no, you're straight up.
Well, some people are. It took me a while to get used to it. Now I don't have a problem with it, but when I was 19, yeah, it was something different for me.
Oh, wow. So what were some of the early challenges that you guys faced when you formed the business? What hurdles did you have to get over to get up and going?
Well, obviously, financial is one of them, but pretty much everybody has that. So I'm not even going to get into that. Um, I think for us, it was um, identifying who we are and what we do and why we're different. Uh, and we start basically just to, I guess, pay the bills, what have you. We started as a catheter company, and we worked on catheters and some class one devices like laryngoscopes or what have you, airway devices. And then we slowly start gaining experience as a company and start working on more complex devices. And that switch from class one device to class three PMA and learning new regulations for the software and learning 60601 regulations for electrical medical devices. That switch was, I mean, it's from something that we never done before to something that is kind of a cutting edge, what have you. That was challenging and very interesting. I mean, it's just a lot of people had to learn a lot of new things. Luckily, the team here is amazing, and everybody likes to learn.
Yeah. How big is your team there today?
We have about 30 people now.
30 people. So that's a significant enterprise for sure.
Well,
So
if you, yes, because especially since we started with two, and I remember being one of those two, and
yeah,
the growth through the years and everything else, it's very exciting to look back on it, and especially when you look around, we now have our own building. We built it to our standard, the way we wanted to have it, and um, remembering where we were in the space that was completely not for us, now
right.
being in the space that was manufactured for us and everything is just amazing.
Yeah. Very, very cool. And is everybody as smart as you there? Because I mean, you seem to be
No,
you're
I
one of those
think a
guys that
lot of
make my
people,
head kind of explode. Like wow,
no, 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 no. A lot of people are much smarter than me here.
that I might be intimidated to walk in the door there. I think
No,
I
and I'm telling you, you should, you will enjoy it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm actually looking forward to getting a tour of your place. I think it'll be very cool. Um, as when we talked before, I dabbled a little bit in the world of telemedicine devices and stuff 10, 12 years ago or so. And we dabbled with, with trying to manufacture our own equipment. And I just remember all the regulations and just gosh, all the things you had to kind of go through to pass those tests. And it's got to just be getting worse, right? Is that just an area of the industry that just continues to go further and further?
Well, and it's this, I guess, probably controversial is not a right word, but it's this fight between you want to make sure that the products that are on the market are safe. You want to make
Of course.
sure that, no human suffers because of the mistakes or cut corners that whatever company is trying to do. But on another hand, you have innovation, right? And usually startup will not have that amount of money to get the medical device through, right? I
Right.
mean, if you're looking at taking the simplest medical device out there, it's probably going to be $250,000 now. If you are taking probably not very complicated electromechanical device out to the market, you're looking at about $40,000 just in standardized testing that you have to do. The testing, filing, fees, etc. So, I mean, you're very easily approximating $1 million there.
Right.
So that is, I mean, it is just hard for startups to do it, and that's kind of why we're here. We help to guide them, show them the easier ways, the right way to get through the regulatory and into the market.
Yeah. Cool. A lot of times I'll talk about AI with my guests, and I would think that AI has got to have a big impact on your design process and manufacturing. Uh, how are you guys using AI to improve your
At
operations?
this particular point, we are not. I back in the day when it just started coming out, I decided to help myself to write a post about 60601 regulations on LinkedIn, and I read it, and it looked good to me. And then one of our advisors calls me within 30 minutes. He's like, take it down. I'm like, why? He's like, if I'm going to be on advisory board, you're not going to be posting something like that. And I'm like, okay. So if you're going to start using AI and it's getting better, but for any kind of regulatory uses, you really need to be reading it because it's still not quite there.
Yeah. I thought maybe it would be coming into play in like early design concepts and stuff like that.
Uh, so yes, we try to use it for early design
Yeah.
concepts, but it's hard it's still not all the way there for communicating and to get it exactly what you see. It can
Right.
get you close, and we're using it for the first stage to kind of show customer, here's what we imagine, but we usually have industrial designers that are going to take whatever AI does and make it more real and
Yeah.
exactly as designed or as we're intending to design it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I run into the same thing. I'll use it to kind of help me start creating some content or something. And sometimes this just happened not too long ago. I was trying to put together kind of a draft of some training material I was doing, and I thought I would use AI to kind of help me structure it. And I started going down that path, and then suddenly I realized it's it's telling me a lot of stuff that's just not true. It's
It's not
completely.
true.
And
Exactly.
every once in a while, I mean, I always tell people just because you're using AI, it doesn't mean you turn off your intelligence. You still need
True.
the HI, the human intelligence part, to be able to go, no, that's not right. I'm just going to scrap what it's telling me and move on with myself like I would have done
Yeah,
normally
a
for
buddy
years
of
and
mine
years.
who used to run software company, they were hiring people, they were asking them to write a code. And he says within seconds you can see who used AI to write a code because they all had exactly the same mistakes.
Yeah, yeah, I could imagine that. So tell us about kind of where you are. I guess we talked about where you are today. Where do you see your company going over the next 5 to 10 years?
Well, so f- for the last couple of years, we were hoping to grow. And for one reason or another, it wasn't happening. At this particular point, I think we developed this incredible sales team, and they are just bringing projects left and right. And it is so much like easy to look in the future and say yes. Uh, I think we're probably going to grow about 50% this year. Hopefully,
Wow.
I think we're going to grow to 100% probably next year. Um, if it will happen the way I hope it will.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I hope we're going to be probably 10, $12 million company in 5 years, and hopefully $100 million company in another 5 to 6 years.
Wow. That's significant. That's very significant.
Yes, it is. But I mean, you have to have very big goals, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what's that one book, 100x? It says it's easier to go 100x than 2x. Uh,
I sometimes it is correct. I
yeah.
believe that.
So you mentioned earlier, and I meant to catch it at that time. You said kind of what makes you all different, what makes you unique. What is the value proposition you all bring that makes you different from other manufacturers out there?
Yeah. So, for example, in Louisville, there are medical device companies, and there are medical device companies that develop electromechanical devices. But I think we are only a contract development company in the area that offers software development, that offers electrical engineering, that offers firmware development, that offers mechanical engineering, who
Wow.
understands Regulation 60601 regulations, who can guide company into the correct design, correct electromechanical design, who understands ISO regulations for software and can
Right.
help companies with the proper paperwork. So, yeah, I
So
think that
you're a full suite of
we
everything you
we
need.
are we are, and due to the fact that we do understand everything, and we have, well, we don't understand everything, obviously, but we have people in the right positions for all the engineering, every aspect of engineering medical devices. I think we that gives us a lot of um, knowledge base
Yeah.
and ability to guide our customers in the right direction.
Yeah. I would think there's a strategic advantage too. I mean, most for geographically where you are. I mean, Louisville, Kentucky is affordable. It's Midwestern. It's accessible all over the country. I mean, probably a lot of your competitors are out of California, Silicon Valley, and places like that. That's a lot more
Yeah,
expensive.
I think we're one, if not the only one, then one of the few companies that provide the services in probably 200-mile radius easily.
Wow.
And we do have customers from obviously other areas around the United States. Majority of them are from East Coast,
Yeah.
but uh, some nearby or neighboring states as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd say probably a lot of folks in California probably go, oh, I'm not going to go to some company in
Yeah,
Kentucky
there
to
is
do,
still probably some kind of a stigma that people
yeah.
outside of California can do medical device development.
Right.
And I think we're here to break that.
Good for you. Good for you. I love when people are bringing business into Louisville instead of leaving Louisville. So that's awesome that you're doing
And
that.
I think making Louisville more technological, I think, for example, Kentucky State has been doing a great job supporting us.
Good.
Um, yeah, and we're very GLI has been doing good job helping us. So Louisville does have infrastructure. If you know where to go,
Yeah.
to Louisville in Kentucky has infrastructure to help smaller companies.
That's great to hear, and that's encouraging to hear. So, so Vas, if you know, wrap up with a question I like to ask, which is, you know, if you were talking to your younger self or someone that's like, you know, sitting where you were 20 years ago, but now they're thinking of starting something new, what advice would you have for them?
Um, it's never going to be what you thought it's going to be at the beginning.
Yeah,
So just be ready to change your approach, to change yourself, to fail very frequently, to
yeah,
be ready to get up again and move forward. Um, you know, so be ready for disappointment.
yeah,
It's not an easy path, obviously. I think no life is an easy path, but when you're trying to start something new, you're gonna hit the bottom and you're gonna have to start again over and
yeah,
over, and just be ready to accept that.
yeah. But I'd say even though with all those failures, you still would rather be where you're sitting now than probably a lot of other places, right?
Well, I would rather be retired on my personal private
Well,
island, but you know what?
well,
It hasn't happened yet,
hey,
so
you hit 100 million, maybe you will.
who knows? I hope so. But yes, no, it's exciting. It's as I said, when you're standing, you remember what you wore when you started with two people, and where you are right now with 30 people and people that enjoy doing. I mean, if you come here, you'll see it right away. Everyone enjoys being here. People
Yeah,
collaborating, people are working together, just inventing, creating, and it's just an amazing place, and you cannot not be proud about it.
yeah. Well, that's very cool, and that's great. Just a great testimony to sheer will and determination, but also maybe fighting against the odds to build something like this here in Louisville. And I applaud you for that.
Well, thank you. I guess, yeah. I guess I had good mentors.
Yeah. Well, that's a big part of it as well. I do as well. I have as well. And that's a big part of my success as well. I got to give credit to those who have helped guide me along the way. So,
Absolutely.
well, very good.
I
Well,
mean,
Vas,
you
thank
can't
you.
do it. You cannot do it by yourself. It's not
Oh,
going to
yeah.
happen.
Yeah. That's the best advice right there. I don't care if you're a solopreneur or building a Fortune 500 company. You're never by yourself. You can't be, not to succeed.
Right.
So very good. Well, thank you for coming on the program. Appreciate hearing your story, and wish you guys luck as you double, triple, 10 to 10x, 20x, whatever you're going to end up doing in your business.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to following this journey and seeing what happens with you guys.
Well, John, and you're always welcome to stop by and take a
I'm going
tour
to.
and see how it actually really is done.
Yeah, excellent. I look forward to that. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. If you liked it, please share or like it on whatever platform you use. You can find me on social media. On most platforms, I'm John K. Jennings. My first book is also available. Your Baby is Ugly tells you about 10 truths that business owners need to hear, but often won't, and how to overcome them. You can find it on Amazon. Just search for Your Baby is Ugly. And be watching for our next episode, where I'll interview another business owner who will share their stories and insights into what it's like to create a great business.